Enough of this. Glad you can join us, and welcome to the P.G.M show. Well, hello and welcome to the P.G.M show. I'm your host, Peter Gordon McKinnon, and yes, episode 4. It is so great to see Melanie Lynskey, a Kiwi actress in one of the best, I think, and my favouriteest now, HBO original Last of Us show. Just is absolutely brilliant. Is really has gotten to the heights of one of the best shows 2023 here on our side of the shore. It is Neon, so catch it here in New Zealand on Neon. It is so spectacular. Such a thrill ride, this one, and a very thrill ride, but then slowly, gradually getting into the episode 5 as we see Joel and Ellie now come into a city. They've got a truck from Bill, and we go into the city, and this city where there's a faction headed by Melanie Lynskey's character in this, and we also see this big mound of concrete underneath a structure, a building, and yes, everybody knows it's going to be a bloater, so I cannot wait to actually see that, and the effects and the excitement in my face will be just priceless. I'm really celebrating on this, and such excitement and joy, happy, oh happy, joy. Anyway, let's get into it. Plus, we do see I will get the character's name. I think it's Sam and Benjamin. I will correct that if I'm wrong. Anyway, let's get into it. This is a great episode, a good episode, and I will start with the game version of this little episode, and then I will ring out the changes for episode 4. Okay, let's get into it. We take the game first with the storyline that is so deep in survival, to the fact that Joel and Ellie have driven into this city. But before that, it is so refreshing to see the HBO series of The Last of Us have that scene in the games where Ellie takes the magazine, or finds this magazine inside a pocket of the car, of Bill's car, and she opens it and she says that, oh my god, what do they use this for? And Joel is speechless. He's searching for words, and she's then opens another page or so, and she says, why are these pages sticking? What's going on here? And Joel says, maybe you should be touching that or looking at that, and she kind of just chuckles and laughs and says, I'm only fucking with you, dude. And then opens the window and says, I forgot what she says. It says, see you later, dude, or something like that. And it's very funny. I mean, it's really good. It's good to see that mirror. In a sense, there's a sense of changes in the series from the game, but it's so refreshing to see that. It's one of my favorite scenes in the game, and now the HBO series. But going back to the city of this faction that Ellie and Joel drove in, and there's this guy in the street wanting help because he's somewhat wounded, but he's not wounded because Joel finds out that this is just a trick, and Ellie says that we've got to help him. He says no, we don't. He rams into this guy, and then they somehow crash into a store, and banged up, Joel and Ellie find themselves trapped in this almost gas station store kind of thing, and then they have to fight their way out, and Joel nearly gets skewered by a sharp piece of glass by this guy, and this faction guy, and then they're all kind of around Joel and Ellie, surrounding him. Joel fires and shoots them all and kills them all, and then they try and find their way out of this blocked area that they're in, and they finally do, but they're in a situation where they have to survive and almost sneak around this faction who have got a armored vehicle, and that's troubling in a sense that they get fired upon when they both escape that and shoot and kill some factions who are on them like hotcakes. Sorry, I don't know what to say. And then, how to explain that. And then they find their way skirting on a high building, and then stopping where this armored car is searching for them. Because plainly these guys kill just out of, not fear, but just they kill because their dark side is taken over. It's dark, and that they just kill innocent people. And this, what I'm getting at, plainly, is they don't care about anyone except themselves, and scavenging and killing innocents is just a way for them to survive in this city. They don't like strangers, they didn't like Joel, they didn't like Ellie, so they searched for them just to kill them. Pure, utter evil intent. Anyway, as I was saying, they come across Henry and they come across Sam. Sam is of an age where Ellie is the same age, of course, and Joel is older, of course, older than Henry is. In this storyline of the game, they get to know each other, but Joel is somewhat suspect of Henry and of younger brother to Henry, Sam. And in saying that, to cut this a little bit short, that Henry has devised a plan to actually escape this city and this faction, and then Joel is reluctant to hear this plan, but really he needs to get out of the city with Ellie and continue on to their journey to where Joel's brother is, and that is in the game Jackson or New Jackson. In this wonderfully told story of Sam and Henry being really years apart, being brothers, but no matter about that, but they have such a good relationship, a relationship of wanting to survive, knowing that Henry is going to actually take care of young Sam, his brother, but wanting to get out of a place where really they're going to be killed. Because, again, and I repeat it again, this faction does not like strangers. you will be killed, you will be shot, and they won't care. It will just dump your body somewhere, and survival of the fittest. It just reminds me, an example I came up with while doing this is like survival of Serengeti, of the weak-natured. They always, get hunted down and killed by the ravaging lions. Well, they probably are ravaging, but ravaging lions. It's that Springboks. I'm just trying to search for examples, but that survival. But don't come here or you'll be shot. Private thing. If you come into my space, you'll be shot. As a stranger, I don't know you, kind of thing. You're not my faction. That kind of thing. The fear of being infiltrated by someone, and I don't know. It's just like we don't want you here, so we will shoot you. We will kill you, and that'll be the end of you. We don't want your problems here. We've got our own problems. And really, in regards to the TV series, Kathleen has got problems. Huge, big problems, but we'll get there. And really, this state of mind of Sam and Henry, and also Joel, reluctantly taking Henry's plan on to get out of this space, this city, of this faction that really doesn't give a rat's ass about anyone, except themselves. They would just rather kill you and scavenge your body, and or in a sense, scavenge off your body to see what you've got, and then throw you away. And it's that sense of wanting so much to get out of one space, or out of one place, and then move on, so they won't be threatened. So yes, reluctantly, Joel agrees with Henry, and while Joel is agreeing with Henry on this plan to get out and to get freer, let's say, Sam and Ellie are at the age that they get along with each other. They're there for each other. Children can be children. You can they get along famously, even when they're strangers. They don't have that semblance of caution or cautionary acts upon adults. Reaction to each other, if I can say that. And it is really sweet in a way. It's when Sam picks up a toy, a transformer, and he wants it, but Henry says, no, put it back where you got it from. And really, in the letters, in the scenes going forward in this, Ellie grabs it, but we don't know she's grabbed that toy and gives it to Sam. But then again, we don't know Sam has been bitten, and then that's really really the turning point of Ellie and Joel's relationship. It's got way better than it had before. It's gotten to a place where Joel is really wanting to take care of Ellie, not wanting her to be in that situation of harm. But so he's bending over backwards to actually get them out of places where there's violence and there's trouble and there's death and there's pain. So he does all he can and to actually kill people who get in the way of that. And it's that big turning point in their relationship. So they've eventually they actually kill these guys out and get out of this trap they're in when they rest up, and then further down the track they go through buildings and at one point they separate because there was a trap, and Joel and Sam have to survive in almost a underground place where people were living, but they are infected. So it's a fight to actually get out of this place with Sam in tow, and Joel has to fight their way free, because Ellie and Henry are off running from clickers and infected all over the place, and Ellie says that just Joel will protect you in some light and fashion, and that's really nice to see. And still not sure about each other, but they're in a state of father and daughter almost. This is Joel's second chance at being a father, because he was a father to Sarah, but really she was taken as a child. So he hasn't got that sense of Sarah being grown up in front of him. So he's got a second chance in Ellie in this sense. Anyway, we'll get to that later down the line, way down the line in the story. But in this, it's such. So Joel takes Sam really under his wing to actually protect them, to actually get them out of this fearful place of clickers and infected. So they fight. He fights his way through, gets Sam out of here, and then they're still running away from the clickers and infected. All four of them scamper off, and then they're in the clutches of the faction again. The fact that they've come out of this place where they had to survive clickers and infected running towards them, and then they travel a wee bit more, and then they go right bang smack back into a faction infested site where these guys will just hunt anyone down, strangers down, and shoot to kill. So Joel has to get them out of this state of affairs again. So he has to kill these guys who are hunting them. So he does that, but really, once he gets to the sniper rifle, Joel's on the sniper rifle, so he has to actually gun these factions down and then gun the infected and clickers down. So he's fighting two fearful natures to get Sam, Henry, and Ellie to him, a safe place. So, and then really when there is a infected on Sam at that point, that Joel shoots the infected, but we as a player, and everybody who's a player, do not know Sam is infected. He hasn't said he's been bitten to anyone, even his brother. And when Ellie gives him the Transformer toy and has this awesome conversation on about being infected, and do they even know they're infected, and Ellie says, I don't think they're there anymore. In their own minds, they're gone. They've been gone a long time with this fungus, this disease, and what have you. And then when Sam grabs the transformer, Ellie's out of the room. She says she's tired, she's going to bed. And then he throws the transformer action figure on the ground. And then he lifts up his pants leg, and there is the bite from the infected. It's sad. It's so sad. It's just so sad. But the thing is that before Ellie goes in, Joel and Henry are getting to know each other as to the story of the Harley Davidson. And then the morning comes around. Henry is cooking up baked beans for their breakfast, and Ellie goes and wakes up Sam bursts out attacking Ellie, and then Joel saves Ellie, and then Joel's about to shoot Sam because he's infected, and this could be a problem. And Henry is just pointing the gun at Joel, saying that don't touch him, he's my brother. And then turns the gun onto Sam and shoots Sam, and then Sam turns the gun back on Joel, and then Joel tries to calm him down, but really Henry points the gun onto his temple. Joel is severely saying, don't do this, and this gunshot just bellows out, and then Henry's dead. He shoots himself. He can't handle it anymore. He can't handle seeing his brother dead on the floor, and Henry has just shot his own brother. And it's just heartbreaking. It's really, really heartbreaking to see this, to be in this game, because it really, it's like when Ellie meets Sam and gets to know Sam and laughs with Sam, and she's got a friend who's her own age, and then this whole thing happens, and it's sad. It's also sad when things happen like this. It's a world of survival. It's a world of pain. It's a world of death. It's just beautifully told, but really is so dark. And again, the word I'm going to use in this review in talking about it is sadness. Pure and utter sadness. Okay, from the HBO original Last of Us series on HBO Max in the States, and here in New Zealand or this part of the world it's Neon, we see a massive difference in the way that it's been told, and it's beautifully told. It's beginning, and it is a huge hit on HBO, and it's great to see Melanie Linsky, a Kiwi actress, playing Kathleen, and she's the head of this faction, and we see Joel and Ellie travel again in the car that they took from Bill, or the ute they took from Bill, and the fact that they get trapped, and the scene where they get trapped, where again in the game it's nearly mirror image. There is a slight change in how it's told, but it's there, you can see it. And once they get out of that, they head off and they search around for places because they know they have been found out by the gunfire and the shots and the people who Joel has killed, which is a big deal. That this Kathleen and this whole faction, this whole almost village of people in the city surround Joel and Ellie, and they're having trouble getting out. And so when Kathleen and her second in command, you could say, of this faction go down to this basement, they see this big pile of rubble, concrete, lift up, and oh man, this is a huge bloater, and that really excited me immensely. But this whole story that we see is the story of Henry and Sam. This whole episode was really an episode of Ellie and Joel hiding out, escaping around into buildings, and then to have Kathleen's group of faction look for not only Joel and Ellie, but also to look for Henry. That's who she's looking for, is Henry. And that's the change. The change is that Henry and Sam were attacked and got away from this faction in the game, where Sam and Henry didn't have anything to do with Kathleen or any of that faction. It was just trying to get out of the city limits and to go find a life, or go find something relating to a life. This is like Sam and Henry have been embedded in this faction of the city life. So they know who Kathleen is, they know who the second in command is, so their escape has something to do with this doctor being shot by Kathleen. This evidence of her story, that Kathleen's brother has been shot, murdered, but really I think Joel has murdered or killed Kathleen's brother in this sense. And really, that's they've got about 4 people they're looking for: Joel, Ellie, Henry, and Sam. Sam and Henry for another thing, and Joel and Ellie for the murder of her brother, or who she's searching for, and that is Henry and Sam. As I repeat myself continually on this episode, I do apologise, and also I do apologise for actually trying to get my words out with not stuttering too much. But it is exciting. It is really exciting to actually see this unfold and be threshed out. As I make a mistake in my wording. But to have that fullness of the whole storyline be told in this magnificent darkness of this world of survival, pain of The Last of Us HBO original TV series. And also, of course, seeing, and we'll see this in the next episode 5, the bloater coming out and running for your life, because the bloaters are huge and disgusting looking and threatening. And this entails the whole story, but really, I think this series for Joel and Ellie got better for Joel. I think it's the realization that Joel is taking a shine to Ellie a lot more because she's telling these stupid jokes. And Joel can't resist that. Joel cannot resist and laughing out loud with these stupid jokes of Ellie's, and that's the turning point for this whole show. The whole turning point for Joel's attitude towards Ellie. But really, being confronted by Henry and Sam by gunpoint and then bang, that leaves that whole episode there, and then we have to now go into 5 to continue the story. I mean, that was the whole entire episode, was that Kathleen's trying to actually hunt down Sam and Henry for something. Kathleen knows Henry and Sam. Then Joel finds himself with Ellie escaping this faction, because if they don't get out, they will be shot, killed. I mean, they've already had attempts on their life, because these guys don't like strangers, and because that Joel might have actually killed, and I think killed Kathleen's brother or something like that, or a relation. Anyway, it'll come to more of a determination we get in episode 5. But it has been a really good episode. Again, I'm so happy because Melanie Linsky is in it, a Kiwi actress, in this whole beautiful of dark sadness, survival of this whole story of The Last of Us, and also having the change of the scenes of the game to the series is brilliant. It's brilliantly told by Craig Maven and Neil Druckmann, to actually have a difference but also being the same, as it is mirrored the same, but in some sense, in some scenes, but also having that fullness and that full body of how these stories and how these characters have evolved, in a sense that you don't see them in a game, but you see them now in this TV series more. Because that's really how it should be in a series told beautifully. How they live, how they breathe, how they react, how they survive, and how that you get to know these characters more, because the characters have been fleshed out more, have been, gives them a backstory, and that's why I love it so much. If that makes any sense, if it doesn't, comment down below. I'll leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to me waffling on my thoughts and my opinion on this. It's a beautiful story. I love the story. I love the game. Always will. I love this series. If you're in New Zealand, you can catch on Neon here on this side of the planet. You can catch it on HBO Max over there, probably in the UK, USA. Anyway, I will leave it there. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed bringing that to you. If you didn't, you can comment down below. If you did, you can comment down below. Please like, share, subscribe to the P.G.M show. It would be muchly appreciated. But, again, take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. And I will see you next time for the next episode, episode 5. Goodbye, and God bless you all.